SETI Integration, The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, Book 4, by Frederick Fichman. Chapter 3. Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory, Amundsen Scott, South Pole Station, Antarctica. Sitting at the bottom of the world, a unique observatory, searching for subatomic particles called neutrinos, was constructed to complement the other scientific research taking place at the South Pole. On either side of a two-story small control center, two tall dominating tubes, propped up on stilts off the Antarctic frozen surface, were set about 10 feet from the control center. Each 6-foot diameter tube contained strings of sensors drilled 2,500 meters below the surface. The sensor string was dotted with photomultiplier tubes looking for those elusive neutrino particles. Sometimes as few as 6 to 12 of the tiny indicators of neutrino collisions onto the sensors were discovered each year. The neutrinos emanated from as close as our Sun to as far away as an exploding supernova. They pass through solid material without effect. Neutrino detection can tell physicists about the nature of materials in a way that light and other radiation could not. They could also be excellent carriers of data communication and data packets. They were the only known subatomic particles that were not attenuating through the interstellar medium. If an intelligent advanced species were to harness the efficiency of the neutrino, they could probe, scan, or communicate across the universe in modes unknown to man. Scientist Mark Tyndall and his assistant, Mary Heller, at the Antarctic Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory, were modeling that day in an equipment-packed control room where a recent single neutrino hit had occurred. They were plotting the possibility of writing a single binary message attached to a string of neutrino hits. The science was not there yet. Mark was hunched over his computer in a room full of computers, data controllers, and stacks of RAID computer servers storing the information and constantly polling the sensor collection terminals. Mary was not far away, working at the file cabinet, doing her daily routine of paper filing the previous day's printout reports. While continuing to stare at his computer screen and punching in commands, he said, "Mary, that was a damn good hit last week." Mary replied, "I guess we better be satisfied with that one. It could be a while before we get another hit." Mark reached for his Diet Coke. "Yep, it could be a while. Are you going to taco spread tonight?" Mary smiled and looked over at Mark. "Are you kidding? That's the highlight of the week. That and the movie afterward. I'm there." Mark said, "I just love tacos. My favorite food without it." His reply was cut short. Through the monitor speakers, they both heard a loud ping. That ping was the computer turning another neutrino hit into an audio alarm, letting whoever was in the control room know that another neutrino was detected deep underground by the photomultipliers. Mary and Mark were stunned as they looked at each other. They both froze. A smile crept across their faces. Mark said, "Wow, do you believe it? Another hit, just 5 days." Another loud ping, and then another, and then a cascade of pings, multiplying, speeding up with each hit. A cacophony of sound filled the room. Mary dropped her files and quickly put her hand over her mouth, eyes wide, fixed on Mark. Mark jumped up from the computer terminal. The loud pinging was racing now, deafening in sound. Mary and Mark put their hands over their ears. Mark finally reached for the volume knob on the control panel just to the right of his computer. He grabbed the knob, but he could not turn it before the screeching suddenly stopped. Mary said, "Why did you turn it off?" Mark whispered, "I didn't." He turned away from the control panel. He slowly turned to Mary. "Mary, what the hell was that? What the hell is going on?" Mary said in a shaking voice, "Where's that coming from? How far? How deep?" Mark shook his head negatively. He said, "I don't know."